Not too much mud in the Houston Astrodome. We get set for round 9 of the U.S. Supercross Series. And a good takeoff by Jeremy McGrath. Number 6, Jeff Emig. He gets the whole shot. He's got the lead around turn 2. It's Emig, McGrath, then Kyle Lewis, Michael Craig. We've got Henry and then LaRocco.
Pretty good battle up front. You know what always happens is Jeremy puts a pass on these guys right away and checks out. Right now, Emig seems to be holding a little bit of a cushion over Jeremy, and if he is unable to get away, you see right there to the left of your screen, LaRocco. He's going to get up there and challenge and make a race out of this.
25 is DeHoop, 18 is Stevenson, 14 Dowd way back in the pack. Here's Kyle Lewis and Michael Craig as we go to the Honda track cam.
Once again, this is looking from the landing, looking back to the takeoff. 85 feet, these guys are flying.
Some of those you see not making that entire jump. It wasn't their fault, really. It was somebody in their way, maybe.
Yeah, actually in the first lap when things are bunched up and you don't know what somebody's going to do in front of you, especially some privateer you're not used to riding with, it's better to play it safe.
Looks like a cattle call, bunched together. Michael Craig and Doug Henry. Oh, Craig goes over the hay bales and gets right back on the track.
That was a pretty slick move. It's not something we want to do, but he pulled it off pretty good. He's probably wondering, am I going to be disqualified for that? And while he's kind of flustered from the whole thing, Kiedrowski goes around him.
Out in front is Jeff Emig, number 6 on the Yamaha, followed by Jeremy McGrath.
There's another look at this move by Craig. He comes over the finish line jump, can't make the corner over the hay bales, pulls it off. You see him looking back. He's got to be wondering. I mean, I've done this before too, but he didn't gain any positions by it, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Back to the live action is Kyle Lewis, number 15, after a good start, trying to hold off Mike LaRocco. I just love this shot. It looks like they're floating through space.
It sure does, and I'm impressed with the Astrodome. You see in that shot how high it is to the ceiling. This place is massive inside, 9 levels. You can barely see the racetrack from up there.
Whoa, Henry and Kiedrowski going at it. Kiedrowski gives him the bump. The Cowies are on the move. Emig, number 1, Jeremy McGrath right on his tail.
And Emig is doing a nice job of holding off Jeremy McGrath. Usually around this time, Jeremy has already made his pass and is checked out, but right now Emig's making a good race out of it.
Jeremy looking a little bit more relaxed after breaking the 2-loss string that he had going. Here's Kyle Lewis along with Mike LaRocco. LaRocco starting to put pressure, goes to the inside on Lewis. Kiedrowski's right on LaRocco's tail as well. LaRocco moving into 3rd. Here comes Kiedrowski. He gets by Lewis.
Following his teammate, looks like these two are going to go up and start challenging the leaders, and if McGrath can't get around Emig pretty soon, he's going to, oh, a little sideways there by McGrath. You know, I think Emig's kind of taking him out of his normal flow. I mean, if you can get in there, interrupt McGrath's normal plan of attack for these races, which is just getting to the front and getting away clean, possibly you can take him out of sync, like what happened to him in Daytona and in Atlanta.
Emig's best finishes on the year, 2 third places, 1 in Anaheim and 1 in Atlanta. And David, he's running as well as we've seen him run all season now.
Well, no one can do much about McGrath, especially when it's just one-on-one like this, and right now Emig's doing a good job. It's either difficult to pass out there or Emig's just riding great.
Lewis stalling his machine. Henry goes by. There's 3 bikes, 4 bikes. DeHoop, Lusk, 6 bikes. He dropped quite a bit.
Well, in the beginning, as we've pointed out a lot of times, when you make a mistake, all those guys are bunched up and they all go by. It'd be a lot better if he could make that mistake in the last few laps. As we take another look at what happened to Lewis, look at Henry on the outside. A lot of options. He decides to go wide. Good thing he did, because Lewis probably should have had his finger on the clutch there and just maybe a little lazy or caught him by surprise, but it sure did cost him a lot of positions.
Back to the action of the Astrodome from the Honda track cam as we see them floating over the triple. Emig our leader, but Jeremy on the move. Emig is out in front. He's looking for his very first Supercross victory on the 250 machine. But look at who's behind him. Number 1, defending champion, 2 consecutive years. Jeremy McGrath is looking for a 3rd championship, and he's putting the heat on. Side by side, Emig gets the angle on the corner and boxes him out.
Jeremy's got to be getting frustrated because he's got company from the Kawasaki camp coming up from behind, and he can't. I don't see any place on this racetrack where Jeremy's that much faster.
This race might come down to endurance, but you're right about the Cowies coming up from behind on Jeremy McGrath. Let's go down to Jan Beekes, who's with Steve Butler, Emig's mechanic, on the floor of the Astrodome.
Steve, obviously Jeff is right where you want him to be. Have you told him how close Jeremy is?
I'm sure he's aware. Jeremy was right beside him there in the woods, but I guess it's the best place to start with a good start, so we'll just see.
Do you think he has the kind of speed. There's a couple places on the track he actually pulls away just a little.
Yeah, I think he's doing everything everyone else is, so it's just a matter of doing it for 20 laps. And I think Jeremy may pull something out, but we just have to see.
Well, it's up to you to motivate him, huh?
Yeah, he definitely needs to do that, I think.
Thanks.
McGrath looking for his 7th win of the season. It would really help the point situation if he could pull it off, and he goes side by side. But Emig says, I'm not letting you cruise by.
Emig is rock solid. He hasn't cracked yet. He's under the serious pressure from McGrath, and he's really not blocking him. McGrath is trying everything he can, and that's what makes it kind of look like Emig's taking his line away.
Beekes has moved over to Skip Norfolk.
Skip, it looked like Jeremy almost had him there. How's he going to be able to pull off a pass?
Well, Jeff's riding a really strategic race right now. He's taking all the lines away from Jeremy. Jeremy's got to figure a way to get around him, and now, because when these two guys are racing out front, it's going to give Mike and Mike a chance to catch him.
Now, when the bike bogged in the heat, it didn't happen until the end. Are you pretty confident you fixed that?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident we got it fixed. I made him hammer on it hard in the parade lap to see if we were going to do anything. I warmed it up and got it hot before we went out there. It seems to be working pretty good right now, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, he's making it exciting. Thank you.
Thanks.
36,919 fans in the Astrodome are being treated to a tremendous competition right now, David. Emig, number 6. Jeremy McGrath, number 1. McGrath just looking at every turn, trying to get by Jeff Emig. And there he takes advantage of the opportunity.
That was brilliant by Jeremy, because in the laps prior to that, he was going to the outside each time, and then he snuck up the inside and totally fooled Emig.
Oh, Henry comes up short and goes down in his battle with Michael Craig. He was in 5th position when he hit the deck.
Looks like he got tangled in to Craig, and it looked like it pulled a kidney belt out of Mike Craig's pants. Craig was lucky he didn't go down in the process.
Jeremy McGrath, the leader. Jeff Emig in 2nd place. Another look.
Yeah, these guys just get crossed up. It wasn't intentional or anything. Look, there you see the kidney belt fly out of Craig's pants. Craig almost went over the hay bales there. And Henry lucky he didn't get run over by Larry Ward.
Henry way back in the pack now as we return to the live action from the Astrodome. Craig up and running in front of Larry Ward. Ward has had a long way to come from the start, but has run a very consistent race.
Here he tries a block pass on Mike Craig. Mike Craig saw that coming and just rode right around him, but I think Larry Ward will be able to get around him. Right now, Mike Craig's kind of a wounded duck. I don't think he can be very aggressive after that move.
Larry Ward got the whole shot here last year, led the race for 9 laps, ending up in 7th place. Right now he's got a battle on his hands with Michael Craig.
Well, both these guys in unison through the doubles, and Larry Ward finally takes the measure of Craig, and it looks like he has a little faster pace there. Craig makes another mistake. Just a little flustered by that exchange with Doug Henry. He was lucky to get out of there without getting hurt. I mean, he got a handlebar right in the side. Larry
Ward making a slow slide from contender to 4th in the standings if he doesn't really do a good job here today.
Well, he's got the Kawasaki guys up ahead of him, and that's going to drop him to 4th. Looks like he's got the speed to catch him, but he's still got a long ways to go. And right now, Emig is already starting to drop off the pace. A lot of guys can do the same thing Jeremy can do for a few laps, but they can't do it for 20, and that's what Jeremy's proven all year long.
The question on our Honda stopwatch here is, can LaRocco and Kudrowski catch up to 2nd place? It looks like they've got good momentum.
Well, Emig's been riding pretty good all season, but the Kawasaki guys have proven to be faster. And I would think they're going to catch up and make a race out of it, although it took Jeremy a long time to get around him.
Lamson, Lusk, Dowd, Swink.
You see Lusk right there having trouble with these sections. Swink right there really fighting it. This whoop section it goes up and then back down. It really forces these guys to be on the money with their timing, and that's what McGrath does so well, and that's where he's making up time, which set up his pass earlier on Emig.
Despite lots of room across the track, it is a treacherous one.
These riders kind of find their favorite line through there, usually where it's worn out, right around here where Stevenson's running, which is where Emig was going. But what makes McGrath so strong is he just goes wherever he wants, and he was still gaining time on these guys.
Jeremy McGrath, our leader, looking for win number 26 on his career.